you ever thought, why is my wireless bill so expensive? Well, now you can do something about that. So I want to tell you about Mint Mobile, with whom I'm partnering for today's video. Now, you've probably heard about Mint Mobile already. Maybe you've seen the hilarious ads from Ryan Reynolds, who by chance is also an owner of Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile's service is awesome. For starters, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15, and you don't have to sacrifice coverage, speed, or even data. They're also built on the nation's largest 5G network, which is fantastic. How do they do it? It's real easy. They keep their costs low because they sell direct to you online. They cut out the retail stores and the salespeople, and everybody wins. Switching to Mint is super easy too. The whole process only takes 15 minutes, and if you get stuck, Mint has a great customer service team to help you through it. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will ship you a new SIM card free of charge. So if you want to get great wireless service at a great price from a great company, visit my link, mintmobile.com/Craig, or click the link in my description right below the video. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and a free mobile hotspot. Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as just 2 lines. So what are you waiting for? Get hooked up with Mint Mobile today. Over the last 6 or 7 years, I've been invited to appear at car shows all around the world. Places like Japan, Thailand, Britain, Germany, Sweden, Holland, and Belgium, just to name a few. They invite me to come out and sign autographs and tell stories about Fast and Furious stuff. And then in October of 2022, I was booked for an event in Holland, also called the Netherlands. I had no idea at that time that I would be reunited with my Supra after 21 years. Had no clue. What happened was, unbeknownst to me, the current owner of my former Supra loaned the Supra to the Chrome Cars people who go around all kinds of shows in Europe. And so they found a way to sneak the car over without me seeing it or hearing about it. But it was a very emotional reunion, but I was so busy meeting and greeting fans during the event days, I could only spend about 20 minutes to really sit inside the car and relive that period of my life. I was very emotional about it. And because I was being paid to be there, my focus had to be on signing the autographs and telling the stories all day. I couldn't break away for more than a couple of minutes. And so it wasn't much of a reunion with my car, but my wife and I met many fantastic people at that show, and so the trip was definitely worth it. And then just recently, the fellow who actually bought my Supra back in late 2001 invited me to his event, which is called Race Wars, and this event takes place in Belgium and is run by a fellow named Nick Kirschmars, and he's the guy that bought the car from me back in 2001. And so my wife and I decided that we couldn't miss this opportunity. Number one, we love Belgium. Number two, since we already have friends in that part of the world, this was the perfect chance to catch up with them. All those friends are car friends. They're probably going to be at the show anyway, so we get to revisit those friends and perhaps to get some quality time with my former Supra, which was be very welcome to me. And Nick was such a wonderful host. He acted as a tour guide for us. I think we saw all of Belgium in 2.5 days, which was a lot of car time. He showed us Antwerp, he showed us Bruges and Brussels. We saved 1 day for ourselves so we could spend the whole day touring the Bastogne battlefield sites, visiting the 101st Airborne Museum, and visiting the graves at the Henri Chapelle Cemetery. Tom Boland and his lovely lady Deb Willem were our most gracious tour guides for that part of our tour. Those are the people we met in Holland at the Auto Live show in October of 2022. In the evening, like I usually do, I contacted local superfans and invited them to go get together for drinks at the hotel. Most of them were staying close proximity to where we were staying. A few people were able to stay in the same hotel. So this is what I usually do when I go to events. I usually meet with superfans that live around there or going to the same event the night before the event, and then I spend each day at the event signing autographs and telling stories and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like what I do on a normal weekend without the autograph kind of stuff. You know, go to Cars and Coffee, talk cars with your friends, and now I'm just doing the same thing over there in a foreign country, and people are Instagram followers of mine, or they're YouTube followers or subscribers or whatever. Even if they're not, they're car people, and those are my people. And on the Friday before Race Wars, I spent the day with Arjan, the current owner of my former Supra. And by a strange coincidence, I was lucky enough to be in town at the right time as Paul Walker's GTR from Fast and Furious 4 was being auctioned that weekend. Now, Arian, the fellow who currently owns my Supra, as I was just telling you, was able to get me a private sneak peek of the blue GTR, which was also an emotional viewing for me of this car because of the history of the car. Still, the seat was not moved from Paul Walker's driving it, and there's all kinds of stuff that just, you know, you just kind of see Paul in the car. I also had a chance to take a ride over to Arian's warehouse where his collection of screen-used cars from the first 2 Fast movies are stored in a private, very nondescript building, a place that you would never think that they would be there. These cars are hidden away in a secret location. These cars are stored in a climate-controlled environment in a very nondescript building, so you would never think that there's 7 cars that were used in the first 2 Fast and Furious movies sitting in that place. Although protected from the elements though, some of the cars could use some refreshing. I mean, after all, they're built more than 20 years ago. He has a total of 7 movie cars. Most of them he's had for many years, going back to, I believe he said around 2008 or 2007 or so. I'm hoping that one day he will start refreshing them. And the next day after that, we headed to Race Wars, where I did finally have a chance to spend some serious quality time with my former Supra. I got in the car, I looked at every part, what still works, what doesn't work. I mean, the car is still in good condition, and there's a little bit of wear and tear things on like the steering wheel, which is suede, you know how to go, and it's starting to show a little bit like it needs to be, little things here and there and all that kind of stuff. But again, the car was built 25 years ago. The car smells just as I remembered. Everything lays at hand just as I remembered. And I'll answer these questions in advance. Do I miss the car? Yes, for a nostalgic region. Would I buy it back? No. Number one, it'd be too expensive for me to buy that car back. It'd be over $1 million. And then a car that special would be a showpiece, something I can never drive on the streets. It becomes a doorstop. It comes like just a showpiece that'll never leave my garage, so it makes no sense for me to do it. But I cannot deny that each time I stand next to the car, it still makes me emotional. And when I leave it, it makes me emotional as well. And that's not the reason I would want to have that car. Next stop was Paris for a long overdue vacation. Then we went home for a week, only to have to turn around and fly back to Germany for another guest appearance with the Chrome Cars folks. Gone for 2 weeks, home for a week, and then flew back to Frankfurt. This was for a guest appearance in Frankfurt. It was a 4-day gig at an IT conference. Chrome Cars provided Fast and Furious screen-used cars for the event, and they brought me along with it to be signing autographs, telling stories, and all that kind of stuff. The usual stuff. That's the kind of stuff I do, 4 or 5 times a year. But if you don't know about Chrome Cars, you really need to check them out on Instagram. Seriously, they're very modest in many, many ways. They don't have a braggadocio, and they don't post a whole lot, but they do post regularly. Chrome Cars collects, sells, and trades collectible cars. Everything from movie cars, including a large collection of screen-used Fast and Furious cars, as well as important cars from other car movies. So I was waiting to get over there to see their place. In addition, they collect, restore, build, and maintain vintage race cars. Their operations are spread over several locations around several cities in Germany. So that meant a lot more driving. I think we did 700 miles of driving in 3 days. I toured all of these facilities in the same day. Not easy to do since they are far apart. While I didn't film inside the vintage racing storage building, I did film at their main building in eastern part of Germany. So let's get into the tour at Chrome Cars' main facility. Hit it. We're at Chrome Cars, folks. We're right on time for our appointment.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to Chrome Cars.
Chrome Cars.
Take a look around. Let's start on the left side. Let's see, we have some cars in here, maybe.
Well, you know what I like, so show me what I like.
Yeah.
Whoa. One thing I know about Chrome Cars is a story with every car.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't just have 1, 2, 3 Skyline GTRs, 4, 5, 6.
And more. But not here yet.
All right, so this one. So what are we seeing here? The Nismo parts? That's like a Z-tune fin?
What you see is a lot of Nismo parts. It's basically a Midnight Purple 3 car, V-Spec, GTR, R34. Have you heard about the CRS program from Nismo? No?
No.
Okay, so this is basically where you can provide Nismo at the Omori factory with a GTR, R34, or whatever you want, and they restore the entire car to a Z-tune kind of spec, what they call the CRS program, Clubman Race Spec. The CRS program started in 2018, 2019, I'm not exactly sure. But the funny thing with that car is we have all the entire documentation, like all the invoices. They are labeled 2013 from Nismo saying CRS. So that means we still need to do a little research on that car, but it could be some kind of a, what we call it, prior to the production car, test car, whatever, but in combination with the VIN number. So it's not just any random invoices saying CRS, but it's to that chassis number. So it could be something really, really, I mean, it is something special already, but maybe it's a CRS Nismo test car for the CRS program.
Another R34 Midnight Purple
2.
So this one is eligible for show and display in the United States.
Exactly.
As long as you don't alter the emission system, you do the paperwork properly,
Yep.
and you can only drive 2,500 miles per year. And so you'll have somebody to do paperwork, somebody who knows these cars. Like, you guys do this kind of work, don't you?
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, the car needs to be fairly stock, right?
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
you can't go crazy with the car.
So this is pretty much stock except for the wheels, but other than that, it's fully stock Midnight Purple.
Another Midnight Purple, yeah.
Like all the other cars, V-Specs, Midnight Purple, GTR, bone stock. Still needs a little work, but we're getting closer. It's a fantastic car. I mean, you rarely see these cars in OEM stock condition, right? Mostly heavily tuned, which is cool, but I like to see them in stock as well, because there is the value as well.
I drove the just driven R33 that they had, the black one last year, and it made me fall in love with that car all over again. It really did. It really did.
Gold badges. I didn't know much about it, but Benny keeps telling me, oh, that's something really
Special.
and rare when they're original, right?
All right, now we roll over here to the R35. Most of my viewers know that I own an R35, and I'm very fond of the car for a multitude of reasons. But when you take a look at these cars, people dismissing them and they're just like cookie cutters. The special editions are very, very special. So tell us about this one.
Yeah, like this one. So after the R34 production, the Midnight Purple paint didn't come back until this car, which is a special edition, as you said, and it's called Midnight Opal Edition. It's limited to 115 cars, and there is only 3 Euro spec cars. This is one of them. That means over here it's very something. Has only 6,000 kilometers on it. It's a 2013 model year, 14, sorry, and it's still brand new. Midnight Purple, Midnight Opal.
I think in America we pronounce it Opal.
Opal?
But
Okay.
we might be pronouncing it wrong.
I don't know, maybe us, but over here it's Opal.
We take everybody else's languages and we screw it up.
Because an Opal is a stupid German car. No.
It's also a gemstone, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, right.
And then this, you can tell from a mile away, it's very different. You can tell this carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber roof.
Yeah.
The carbon brakes, you can't miss that.
The last Nismo production. It's the final edition, 21 and a half model year. There's only 7 cars in Europe. There's 4 in Germany, and this is one of them. So very rare and special. When we got this car, it was completely wrapped. So it's a brand new car, 100 kilometers only on it, so it's still a brand new car.
How much are these cars selling for right now?
Right now,
Over 200. What the
oh, it's way over 500.
Is it?
Yeah, it has to be the final edition, of course, but we're crossing the 500. Easy.
And this one is the T-Spec.
Yep. The T-Spec, it's a limited edition as well. It was produced for US, Japan, Australia only. And there was one very crazy guy in Europe who wanted a T-Spec very bad in Europe. He went to Nissan and forced them with money to build the only one Euro spec T-Spec in existence. And this is the one.
How come he's not driving it?
Because it's here, and we're driving it. Yeah.
Great. We need a car to go to dinner tonight.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a brand new car as well. Has, I guess, 200 kilometers on it.
20 years from now, these cars are going to be going for insane money. Insane.
Yep.
All right, there's a whole slew of collectible cars here. You said these were number matching.
Yeah, so this is pretty, for the muscle car guys, pretty special. It's, both cars are matching numbers, original 426 Hemi cars. Black on black manual transmission, which is very, very rare to see such cars together. And one of them, the 71, is actually untouched and unrestored. That makes it a fortune.
RS, I still like the RS.
Yeah, it's a Copo.
It's a Copo.
Gotta have a Ford GT, of course, MK3.
And somebody to put you in it and take you out of it.
Yeah, but it's quite, it looks tougher than it is because of the opening on the roof. It's quite easy to hop in. You know why they did it on these?
Ejection seats, people to catch fire.
No. This is one thing. No, it's not. No, but to get in easier with a helmet,
Makes
right?
sense.
And then you have the gurney bubble on the race cars for the helmet, because GT40 is for the 40 is 40-inch high. That was regulation.
Oh my God, is that an 82 Camaro?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's an Indianapolis pace car edition. The thing is, that car still has 100 miles on it, so it's a brand new car.
Here's some relics from the past.
Yeah.
From our parents.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is Bonneville.
Oh.
Pontiac, 58, very rare.
Not many survive.
Nope.
Cadillac. Good grief. Where's the seatbelts?
The
Seatbelts.
seatbelt? Oh, okay. There's no.
That's when kids were disposable. If you fly out of the back of the car, we're just young enough to
Yeah.
want more.
And you actually don't need them, even in Germany over here, when you have these registered and licensed in Germany. So you're allowed to drive this one without seatbelts over here.
I wouldn't want to drive it on the Autobahn.
No, not at all.
All right, let's move to the next hall.
Yeah, sure.
This is a locked door.
So,
I know this car. May I open the doors?
of course. Go ahead.
For those of you who haven't seen the interior of this car, it's worth showing. Well, this car was built for Scott Sentra's wife.
Yes.
That's why it's an automatic. It's a four-cylinder. It's not a VR6, but it was a show car for magazine features. It was only to look good. It was not designed to be fast. One of the things I want to point out is there's a lot of detail and a lot of carbon fiber. The interior work on these door panels, the roll cage. I mean, that's a lot of work for a VW Jetta. I don't know what they call them here.
It's a Vento.
The Vento. Okay.
Vento.
This is the Hero 1 car, right?
It's the Hero 1 car, signed by Chad Lindbergh, the main guy on the other side.
You mean Paul Walker?
Yes.
So it sits here preserved, but you take it to all kinds of shows all over the continent?
And we drive it also, because we drive everything we have. It's not that we take it out in the rain or something.
But these things are irreplaceable. If God forbid
It
something
is.
happens,
Yep.
it's gotta be.
It's not the money, it's, I mean, if you crash a car like that, I mean, heavily crash, it's not coming back.
So we see some other Fast and Furious cars from the other movies.
Yes.
So this one is from what movie again? 6?
Has 6 ending scene, popped up only once, very short time. You need to stay here because of the sound.
So it's from Fast 6, right?
Fast 6, the ending scene of Fast 6. This is where Vin Diesel showed up at the Fast House on the driveway. And so this car was built by a company called Speedcore in the States. They are die-hard Mopa guys and they build proper cars. This was their first build. It was, of course, borrowed by Dennis McCarthy
Right.
for the role. And just because they wanted to bring back the car in Fast 7 again, because most people when they see that car, they're like, no, dude, you're wrong. This is not Fast 6, it's Fast 7. It's just because that car had just a small section of the movie, because the owner didn't want to borrow the car again for heavy driving scene in Fast 7. They built replicas
Makes
of
sense.
it.
Dennis McCarthy has done a great job of finding great cars, and then if he can't find the one he wants, he just builds it. So guys like Speedcore,
Right.
they've done a couple cars with Dennis at least. Steve Stroop built a couple cars at a Fairlane, and I forget what the other one.
I love that Mustang.
Oh my
the
God,
white
the
Mustang.
Anvil.
The
Oh
Anvil.
yeah, the Anvil.
I love this.
Gorgeous car. I saw when it was being
Really?
built. I went up Steve's place about a year and a half ago. The guy.
Been there too, but
He's-
didn't see the Mustang.
It was in there, just happy in there.
Oh
They
my.
took the cover off for me to take a look at the motor, and I was
Wow.
like, oh my God, I love that car. And then, as a contrast, this little JDM Rice Rocket, producers would call it.
Yep.
Morimoto's 350Z. Manual transmission, stock motor, top secret kit, right wheels on the car.
Yep.
Putting an American Racing or something like that on it, so that was good. Didn't get much screen time, but a lot of people really love that car.
Oh yeah.
All it needs is twin turbo kit.
We can do that.
I know you can. A little more offset,
No,
your
but-
brakes, and you're in good shape.
Yeah, that's the newcomer. This is pretty fresh in the collection. Let's go inside. We don't have to stay behind the ropes.
That's not what they tell me at the club.
A little bit more American muscle.
Another Dodge. What a
Another
surprise!
Dodge.
What a surprise!
This is the Hero SRT Challenger from Fast 5 and 6. So used in 2 movies. There was a company called CDC Concept, I think, who built this kit specifically for the Challengers, and that was the first time it popped up on screen. Not in the movies, but in that car.
Yeah, my concern with all this is these cars, if you see them 3 seconds as they fly by, this car looks like that car, right?
Yep.
Because there's elements of silver, you can't
Yeah.
tell the two different. I think this is what we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious 1 cars are selling for tons of money.
Yeah.
And the other cars are not commanding these 7-figure price tags.
No.
Yet, maybe it would happen later,
Yeah.
but right now we're seeing people focusing on the first movie or sometimes second couple of cars. From the
That's
second.
true, but yeah,
But later.
that's actually true.
And then we still have this car over here,
Yup.
Hero 1.
Hero 1 Slapjack, Too Fast, Too Furious.
This one actually had a modified engine. We took it over to Gritty, they put all the stuff on it. It's running on wastegate pressure, so it's not making a ton of horsepower because we don't want the stunt drivers to go out and stunt it before we shoot and then blow the thing up, which is a common thing I hear. Mm-hmm. Well, it happens more often than it should, but you see here, right here, the labels, first unit principal, and the key number, number 24.
Yeah. There was a lot of work on that car
There was.
to
stereo?
get it back running again because it sat for ages. Everything works, even the lights work. But I mean, even the configuration, the spec on that car, on that Supra, right? Left-hand drive, turbo, 6-speed, Targa.
And then over here, my boss's favorite. A lot of people think that Universal goes out and buys collectible cars and destroys them. It's not the case. They take
No.
junkyard dogs. They usually build one car out of 2 or 3 other cars. You know, this piece from here. You know the whole drill. So this one was one of those cars.
No, this is really a special one because, of course, it's the Hero as well, driven by Paul. When the previous owners used to own the SRT Challenger and the Camaro, he did a nice restoration on it. There is no 427 in it, but a 502 big block.
Well, we'll just have to deal with that.
Yeah, it goes. Hand shifted, 5-speed. This car works, really.
Go, baby,
Go,
go.
baby, go.
If you don't know this car, you are not watching the right movies.
This is an actual screen-used Eleanor Mustang from Gone in 60 Seconds. They basically built 11 cars in total for the filming. 8 cars were stunt cars, just empty shells with engines, and I mean, you know best. But they actually built 3 in total Hero cars, and this is one of the 3 Hero cars. Car number 7, which is also the only one of the 3 that's pretty much untouched and unrestored.
Well, one thing I was noticing earlier, this is not a good getaway car. Let me show you why.
Yeah.
You get in like this. Impossible. So you have to get and go like this. Put your foot,
Exactly.
foot over here. Oops, I stuck it in
Still
there.
not working.
Fine, I surrender, cop. Just handcuff me. The seat goes forward and back, I guess.
Yeah, you just have to.
Where's the power adjustment?
There is no.
Where's the navigation system?
No heating, no AC, no nothing.
No AC? I'm out.
No.
But just sitting in it, it's like gives me the chills.
Yeah.
This car was in a proper car movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the name of the show again?
It was Hardcastle and McCormick. Hardcastle.
Yeah, the Coyote, which
Yeah.
it looked so cool with those wheels. I love that car. And where I lived in Santa Clarita, they used to film segments of Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, yeah.
So we used to see these cars at Disney Ranch.
Yeah.
There was like a junkyard there, like they're taking parts off of one car,
Just
put it on the,
pile them up.
yeah, and then fix the parts and put it on the other cars. And
Yeah.
you can see how rough these cars are. These are actually used cars.
Yeah.
They don't have to be pretty because you'll never see that on camera. The other side, that's all part of the history of the car.
Exactly, that's what makes the car so special. What we have here is actually the holy grail of all the General Lees, because this is one of the first series, TV series used cars, screen used car, and the only original by VIN number RT Charger they used.
It's part of the history.
Yeah, history. You see all the numbers and the graphics. They used to just tape stuff here and hand paint like the General Lee lettering and the flag and all that stuff. So all handmade.
In the 1970s, the Keystone wheels were a hot thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the Dukes of Hazzard or it's just because
think
they were.
so.
And I also think they were pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was working at Supra shop, and I think they sold those wheels for something like $79 a piece, which is not a lot of money even back then. It's
It
funny.
even has the horn.
It does it really?
It does, yeah. Of course. This is the Bullet Charger.
It's a 1969 movie, as I recall.
It's a 69 movie, that's true. And because this is a 68 model and a 68 Mustang then. So 69 movie. Steve McQueen was the main guy in the movie, and this is the bad boys car. They used two of them. One got crashed at the end of the chase in a gas station, and this is the only one remaining, and it's here fully restored.
A little known fact. The stunt driver, I forget the guy's name.
Bill Hickman.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
He and Steve McQueen went out to a racetrack to practice driving fast, very close to each other.
That's true.
And when Bill was done with filming, he said, you know what, if Steve McQueen had not become an actor, he would be a very, very competitive
Absolutely.
racer, a
True.
professional racer.
Yeah. That's true. And what we also own to the car is we got some paperwork of the production. So that means not really the script of the movie. I mean, to be honest, it was a fairly boring movie. It shows the salary of Steve McQueen and the other cast and where they need to stay or wanted to stay, what hotel, with a pool, with
Production notes, right?
Yeah, production notes, and they actually, it's still handwritten on the papers. The working title, they called it Project Bull, not Bullet. The only replica in our collection, but we still love it. It's an authentic 68 Highland Green GT390. If you put the original next to it, because during the time a lot of parts went missing on the original car, it doesn't look the same as it was in the movie, but this one does. It's a great driver, 390 big block, sounds great, and just, you know, this car, even though it doesn't look like it, but it was fully restored, so the floors are new, the technical stuff is all brand new, brakes, axle stuff, suspension, but kept the old rough look. All the fancy Shelby parts that's hard to find, and
Looks like the rescue did before it started. They're really bad.
yeah.
Wow, what a garage.
And there's more. You will see tomorrow.
There's more? But wait, there's more.
There is the racing department.
The A-Team.
Yeah, 18. Specific story as well, because there is no actual screen used car left. With the same with the Dukes of Hazzard, the General Lee, they crushed a lot and stuff. But this is as original as it could be, because this is one of only 6 promo cars. The production built 6 more cars to use them as to promote the shows. They drove through the country and promote the A-Team. And this is one of the promo vans.
Well, thanks for the tour. It's eye-opening.
You're welcome.
So follow Chrome Cars on Instagram, on Chrome Cars, and then follow their YouTube channel and watch for their updates and their events. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I appreciate that very much. My next episode is going to be an interview with the son of James Hunt. If you ever saw the movie Rush, a story about James Hunt versus Niki Lauda in the Formula One championships back in the 1970s. His son is now in his late 30s, and he's actually racing right now, and I'm working with him on a project. I'm going to have an interview with him. After that, I'm going to do an interview with the Stig, and then another one with a stuntman from Fast 9 and Fast 10. So we're moving to interviews, and it's very exciting for us, so I hope you stick around with me. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.